We're just crossing out of this because President Putin is speaking in Beijing. Let's listen.
And also with our potential partners who maybe do not want to be, are not saying they want to be partners today. So that unity of those who got together is very important, and that demonstrated that unity to the world. I'd like to continue the topic of your visit. There was a number of documents signed. And one of the projects became the theme of the meetings of the summit. The agreements that were reached. Do you think the agreements that were signed negate all the rumors that go around about the relationship between China and Russia? To be honest, I don't know what you are talking about. So I'm not distracted by small rumors here and there in the amount of work that we are doing. This work is indeed. This work had been discussed for a long time, and we were discussing all the pros and cons, and we had negotiations that lasted several years. But we know that the world economy, we see that the world economy is in recession in Eurozone. Nevertheless, world economy is growing. So the demand for energy resources is growing, especially among others in Chinese economy, which remains the locomotive of the world economy. The GDP did slow down. However, the base has grown. So what is this leading to? It's leading to an increased demand for energy resources. So we found a consensus. And there's no charity here. This is a mutually beneficial agreement. And these agreements are based on market conditions, based on the current market conditions in that specific region. And the price is formulated not based on today's situation, but using a certain formula, and it's using very objective factors. So there is growing demand in Chinese economy. We've got the possibilities to satisfy this demand. So this is not timed for our meeting. This is just a result of commercial parties working together. Of course, this will create a competitive advantage for our Chinese friends, because they will be receiving the product at the market price, not at an inflated price. What's most important is they will receive stable supply, secure supply. So everyone is satisfied, everyone's happy. So Gazprom is one of our companies, is expanding its supply base. So Mongolia, 50 billion, some other routes. That's where they're going to increase their supply. Good evening, Pavel Zarubin from Russia. You said many times, and you mentioned it yesterday, a primary reason for Ukrainian conflict. And now we see European leaders discuss guarantees of security for Ukraine, and they are concentrating on placing their military in Ukraine, and also they're insisting on accepting Ukraine into EU. But we see that EU is turning very quickly from an economic union into a military union. And how can you comment on all of this? I agree with those who believe that every country has the right to select itself the system to ensure its security. That goes for all countries, including Ukraine. But that also means that security of one country cannot be ensured at the expense of security of another country, including Russian Federation. We always would never would never underestimate it or would never undermine the right of Ukraine to conduct its own activities, but we were against its joining NATO.